This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, keeping you informed about the happenings in Annapolis and the area. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and of course, local weather. The Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Tuesday, January 7th, 2020. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Yesterday afternoon, just after 1 o'clock, the Annapolis Police Department was called to the 600 block of Chester Avenue for a well-check visit on a liveaboard boater that had not been seen for several days. They weren't able to find the man. They called the fire department as well as the Annapolis Harbor Master and the Arundel County dive team. They combed Back Creek for about 2 hours, and unfortunately they did recover the body of the man, who has not been identified at this point, in the waters off of the 800 block of Chester Avenue in the Eastport section of Annapolis. There were no further details available. We will update that on eyeonannapolis.net a little bit later on today. Sunday evening up in Odenton, a woman was carjacked while pumping gas at the Royal Farms convenience store. This all went down in the 1500 block of Annapolis Road in Odenton, and Arundel County Police say the woman was pumping gas when a suspect approached her asking to use her cell phone. She refused. The suspect entered her vehicle, grabbed a glass bottle, and threatened her. She jumped out of the vehicle. The guy jumped in, began to drive away, striking her with the car door as he left. The vehicle was recovered in a different state. The suspect is still at large and only described as a black male wearing a dark coat and jeans. Anybody that might have any information is encouraged to call the Anne Arundel County Police Department at 410-222-6155. Back over here in Annapolis, the Annapolis Police Department's investigating what they're calling a hate crime. There were two cars that were parked on Primrose Avenue, and sometime between 7:30 p.m. on Saturday and 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, they were both defaced with scratches on both sides and swastikas scratched into the paint. The vehicles are not owned by the same individual, and the police department, as I said, is investigating this as a potential hate crime. Annapolis Ward 6 Alderman DaJuan Gay has put his legal troubles behind him. You will remember that he was cited for speeding 91 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone on a suspended license. He did fail to show for that court hearing, and he says that it was because he did not receive notice of the court date because he was in between residence of his grandmother's house and his mother's house. In the end, he had an expedited hearing that happened yesterday at 1 o'clock, presided by Judge Richard Duden, and Gay did plead guilty and was found guilty of doing 76 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone and was assessed a $100 fine and court costs on that, as well as 2 points on his license. As to the driving on a suspended license, Gay did plead guilty and was granted a probation before judgment resolution for the case, along with another $100 fine. The total of $200 in fines and court costs was paid by Gay immediately after the hearing yesterday, and his license has been reinstated and is completely valid. So DaJuan Gay can put that all behind him now. The Maryland Transportation Authority is taking an aggressive construction schedule to get rid of the tolls at the Bay Bridge. They're not going to get rid of the tolls per se, but they're going to get rid of the toll booths. They are going to be starting demolition of some of the toll booths on the Annapolis side later this month. Additionally, on the Eastern Shore side, they are going to start the construction of what they're calling toll gantries, which will be between the Bay Bridge and Maryland 8 on Kent Island. What will happen when this is all done is that toll operations will actually move to the Kent Island side, and you will be charged a toll as you leave the Bay Bridge, not when you come onto it. This will be a move to all electronic tolling. They say will be in place before the summer rush. What that means is that if you have an Easy Pass, you go through at a discounted rate. If you don't have an Easy Pass, you get video tolled, which is the full rate. They will send you a bill. You need to pay that, as well as a processing fee on that. The MDTA says that there will be minimal traffic impact expected for this demolition and construction, but I'm not sure that I totally believe them. I do encourage everybody to get the Easy Pass. They are free in Maryland. You can get them at easypassmd.com. And more conveniently, you can get them at most Giant and Safeway stores. You go to their customer service counter. They will cost you $25, but what that $25 is that's $25 worth of prepaid tolls, so it's not costing you anything. And for those that aren't aware of how an Easy Pass works, you set a criteria and a credit card or a bank account, and when your Easy Pass gets to that level, it will replenish a certain level. When mine gets down to $10, I have them put an extra $25 in. You can make that decision however you want. Some good news for kids in the Anne Arundel County Public Library. Yesterday, they announced that all children and teen books, movies, and music are now fine-free. They also waived more than $750,000 in old fines and fees for customers under 18 and outstanding late charges on children and teen materials for adult accounts. There were more than 33,000 people that received, on average, a $22 forgiveness. County Executive Stuart Pittman proposed the supplemental funding enabling the library to eliminate the fines, so he was able to come up with $750,000 to do that. And in doing so, he said eliminating the burden of debt on the backs of children and young adults who want to use the library resources is a great step in making the county the best place for all. This initiative is a great fix to breaking down barriers, especially among our most vulnerable county residents. Kind of a neat idea. You can find out more information at aacpl.net/children-fines. All right, that is it for the top news today. It is Ticket Tuesday, and our friends at the Rams Head have given us not one pair, but 2 pairs of tickets to give away today, so you want to listen up for this. First one is for one of my favorite bands, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. They are coming on Tuesday, January 14th, and we want to make sure you were listening. What did the judge reduce DaJuan Gay's speed to when he was in court yesterday? Be the third person to email me with the correct answer, and you're going to see Big Bad Voodoo Daddy on Tuesday the 14th. And for another pair of tickets to see Suede, who I didn't realize actually went to Severna Park High School. She's just off of tour with Melissa Etheridge and Sarah McLachlan, and she was the opening act for the late, great Joan Rivers, and someone that the New York Press says is a combination of Adele meets Diana Krall meets Bette Midler. Kind of a wild show. This show is 6:30 p.m. this Sunday, and what I want you to do is just to send me an email with the name Suede, like the fabric, in the subject line. And what I'll do is I'll pick a random winner out of the number of people that respond on that one. So good luck to everybody on that. And again, many thanks to Rams Head on Stage for always giving us these tickets for Ticket Tuesday. Much, much appreciated. Okay, that does it for the news today. Please make sure you're checking out eyeonannapolis.net throughout the day because we do update it throughout the day. You want to hang tight? We have George Young with your local DMV weather forecast, and he is mentioning the S word. Nothing to get really excited about yet, but it's still the S word. He's coming up in just 1 minute.
Hello, friends. This is Brian Griffiths from RedMaryland.com, inviting you to the 2020 RedMaryland.com Leadership Conference, Saturday, January the 11th, 2020, at the Doubletree Hotel in Annapolis. Confirmed speakers include Congressman Andy Harris, Commerce Secretary Kelly Schultz, Transportation Secretary Pete Ron, Senator J.B. Jennings, Senator Steve Hershey, Senator Justin Reedy, Delegate Nick Kipke, Delegate Kathy Shalega, Delegate Lauren Erican, WBAL Radio's Andrew Langer and Jerry Rogers, Maryland Federation of Republican Women President Diana Waterman, Maryland Young Republicans Chairman Maria Sophia, Lauren Bogley from the Maryland Right to Life, and so much more. Tickets are available at redmarylandconference.com. Sponsorship opportunities and vendor tables are also available. That's redmarylandconference.com. Don't miss out on your opportunity to attend the redmaryland.com Leadership Conference, Saturday, January the 11th in Annapolis. Once more, buy your tickets now at redmarylandconference.com.
Going out? You need the most up-to-date local weather. Here's George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis with today's forecast.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, January 7th. Yesterday was a fairly nice start to the work week with temps in the 50s, despite slightly breezy winds at times. But today we'll go in the opposite direction weather-wise, with highs only near 40 degrees, and with a likelihood of PM rain with a decent chance that rain mixes with or even changes over to snow for a few hours as low pressure moves by the region just to the southeast. And while little accumulation of snow is expected, probably a half inch or less to maybe an inch at the most of which would likely be confined to grassy surfaces and cars. There is a small but valid chance that the low-pressure center could be dynamic enough to produce a short-lived but relatively heavy burst of snow in the afternoon or evening hours. And should that occur, that would allow it to cover the streets despite temps being above freezing. And with the timing of it all, somewhere in the 2 to 7 p.m. time frame, there's at least a possibility that there could be some impact to afternoon school schedules and the afternoon commute home from work. So while we think this is a low-end winter weather event, with most places in Anne Arundel County seeing a half inch of snow or less, we'll definitely want to pay attention as this storm zips through, as it has a bit of a chance of causing issues for parts of Anne Arundel County and the eastern shore, especially along and north of Route 50. After today, look for temps in the 40s with very breezy conditions on Wednesday, followed by colder temps on Thursday, with highs in the upper 30s to 40 plus, before more 50s on Friday and a very warm 60s and more rain on Saturday. So keep the umbrellas, jackets, hats, mittens, raincoats, and even shorts all lined up as we go from winter to fall to spring-like conditions today through Saturday. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Make it a great day out there, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching for DCMDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores, and also follow us on Facebook and Twitter and on our website at dmvweather.com. so you can always stay weather informed.
Hey, Annapolis, Eastern Shore, and Anne Arundel County. My name is Rick Peters, and I'm the president of Solar Energy Services. Business is good in the solar industry, and we're currently hiring and training new installers. We also need experienced project managers and drafting specialists to help meet demand and bring clean, renewable energy to homes and businesses in Maryland and Washington, D.C. After 40 years, we can attest to the fact that there's never been a better time to join the solar workforce than right now, especially at Solar Energy Services, where our on-the-job training will allow for rapid advancement for fast learners and emerging leaders. We're locally owned and operated, we have a great work environment, and we offer competitive pay and benefits. And we like to hire for the long term because we believe our employees are our greatest assets. So be sure to apply today at solarsaves.net or call 410-923-6090 because sunshine's a-wasting.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., keeping you informed with the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. And take a moment to listen to our other podcast, The Maryland Crabs, released every Thursday at noon.